Enormous amount of damage at Brisbane City. As a result, the club has set up some fundraising pages. You'll be able to check all of those out via the club's social media and indeed footballqueensland.com.au. You can see the stands very well packed, full of Brisbane City supporters. It's always a game that gets the heart racing. You'd have seen Joe Duckworth speaking on the FQ show, saying that this is always a massive occasion and one that you earmark in your calendar, and it's certainly one that a lot of people look out for when the fixtures are released, and there's good reason for that. There's extensive history. Endless is the word that Joe Duckworth used. And it's a shared history that has seen both these clubs represent Queensland at the highest level in the old NSL. They played each other 30 times in the NSL between the inaugural competition in 1977 and the last time that the two sides were in the competition together in 1986. Lions and City both had little stints after that, a year or so. They're also the most decorated clubs historically in terms of the local competitions as well. City won 12 Brisbane championships, Lions 11, that's first and second on the all-time list. Lions won 14 Brisbane premierships, that's first all-time. City equals second with 8. They both won 7 Brisbane Cup competitions as well. That is the Tide leading in the competition's history. Of course, Lions, in recent years at least, have really overtaken Brisbane City. They are the reigning National Premier League champions. In fact, they're two-time reigning NPL champions under Darren Syme. And he was there when the club won a couple of other premierships and championships in the National Premier Leagues. Brisbane City have not reached those heights in the National Premier League era. They did make the inaugural grand final, losing out to Olympic back in 2013. The teams are being led out onto the field by their respective captains. Sean Carlos leading out Lions in their orange kits, and Dan Bowles leading out Brisbane City. In an opportune time perhaps to run through the team sheet. Đuro Gesevic will be in goal for Brisbane City. Matt Smith is going to wear the number 2 shirt. There he is, just joining the line now. Jackson Simpkin wears number 3. Dan Bowles, the captain, wears number 4. Scott Halliday in number 6. Fraser Hills will wear 7. 8 is Roman Hoffman. 9 Brandon Reeves. 10 Sam Sibatuara. 15 Kai Bolton. And 18 Koji Kato. Brandon Reeves started and scored versus Moreton Bay United last week, so he made the case that he should stay in the starting lineup at the expense of Yuta Hirayama. Lions, who are on a 3-game winning streak, 4 if you include the Cup, will line up in exactly the same way that they did against Eastern Suburbs last week. Aidan Munford in goal. Jackson Hart-Phillips will be on the left side of the attacking defence, with Zach Maltby on the right side. The three centre-backs, Hassan Ramazani, Tommy Jarrett and Ethan Doherty. Matt Redenton, Sean Carlos and Joe Duckworth playing in the central midfield, and then Alex Fechner and Andrew Pengelly will be up front. Alex Fechner, of course, has extensive experience in this competition, in this fixture, sorry. He actually has scored twice in this fixture, both of them wearing the Azzurri colours. Both teams just having their final discussions. Dan Bowles, who leads them on the field. Matt Smith does his talking in the dressing room. The player coach of Brisbane City, John Murphy, and Dean Gregory will be barking instructions from the sidelines. Just about to see the head of Dean Gregory there. Down at the bottom, as Ian Judd walks across, photographer for Lions. In the NPL era, Lions certainly have the upper hand in this fixture. Lions have won 5 of their 7 meetings. City just 1. The last time they met here, though, was in the Australia Cup, in a very, very tight encounter in which Lions won by 2-0. Finn Beakhurst and Yuta Hirayama getting the goals before a Max Mikela penalty in the 90th minute gave Lions the win. They've stacked this near side to start. Lions in their orange shirts kicking from right to left, and we are underway in the Brisbane Classico at Newmarket, and that's a free kick very early doors against Dan Bowles. He looks quizzically towards the official, which is Daniel Olsen today. He's being assisted by Brad Kuipers and Buttress Hayder on the sidelines. And a free kick in a very good position for Lions right from the off. And it was a clear free kick as well. Looked like Dan Bowles was really getting over the top of the former City striker, Alex Fechner, who's come of age in a Lions shirt. He's scored plenty of goals in the last couple of weeks. He's only played 2 games, scored 5. Twice last week against Easton, hat-trick versus Wanderers. We've seen what Matt Redenton wearing the number 6 shirt can do from these sorts of situations. And it will be the 25-year-old New Zealander. Ball's headed away, though. Still an opportunity, perhaps, for Ethan Doherty, who will let the ball run out for a throw-in. And Lions will regroup. A real visual example of the impact of the floods with those temporary barriers over on the creek side of this field. So Maltby just tries to flick his way through. He's unable to do so. Ball comes back, headed towards the penalty area by Redenton it was, and City are going to be able to clear their lines. It's Sibatuara who got the final touch before getting the ball out to Kato. An opportunity perhaps here for City to launch a counter-attack. Sibatuara scored the only goal in City's 1-0 victory at Lions Stadium in 2018. A 1-0 victory for Brisbane City on that day. Been at City a long time, the 25-year-old. Since 2016, did spend half a year down in Victoria with Dandenong. Bolton just tried to help that on its way. Might have come off the back of Duckworth. Fechner's gone to ground. And it's all a little bit untidy. Jackson Hart-Phillips really doing well to win that ball, and an opportunity here to perhaps play the ball inside. And actually there's advantage being played there by Dan Olsen. You don't mind seeing that from referees. Excellent work from Jackson Hart-Phillips. Just a bundle past and get into a promising attacking position. He was unable to do so because he was being illegally impeded, so the referee did come back. And Redenton and Duckworth just taking the pace off the ball a little bit. Ramazani, that's very, very cute, but couldn't find the pass to back it up. And an opportunity here perhaps for City. No, that was excellent work from Ethan Doherty, who came across to snuff out the danger. Oh, well left by Doherty. Hart-Phillips. Redenton. And Bolton looked like a push. And the Lions supporters are certainly thinking that it was. Duckworth just nips in and wins the ball back. Doherty. Duckworth inviting Fechner to run onto that. Fraser Hills just suggesting that Hassan Ramazani was getting a little bit handsy there. Fraser Hills, the 27-year-old, given big raps by this man here on the ball now, Joe Duckworth, saying that he's probably one of the best players in the competition. Certainly one of the most talented. It's hard to argue. The figures and facts speak for themselves. He won the Mike Cockerell medalist in 2019 for his exploits with Brisbane Strikers in the FFA Cup, as it was known then. Pressure came on and Munford launched the ball upfield. It's nicely done by Simpkin. Bolton has nowhere to go though, so drops all the way back to Dan Bowles and now out wide to Matt Smith. Try and keep things relatively tight, City. They admirably try and play the ball out from back as Dragicevic doesn't quite get that one as he might have liked. Scott Halliday though latching onto the loose ball, and he's played a nice ball forward to Bolton, who'll get to the byline. Oh no, maybe he'll cut it back inside, and it's a really teasing ball, and there was nobody there wearing a blue shirt to capitalise. Fechner, was he not caught? Not according to our referee. An opportunity for Cato perhaps with the shot. And Cato perhaps felt that he was being impeded in some way, but then Ethan Doherty had a long look at the groundwork. Maybe there's a little bit of loose footing, and the ball did actually just, the ground, sorry, did actually just cut up a little bit. Strong header from Smith. That head reinforced now after that nasty head gash that he suffered in the opening game of the season against Olympic. 14 stitches, I think. Images were doing the rounds. And they weren't for the faint-hearted, it has to be said. Great to see that he's recovered and back playing. Jarrett, in rare goal-scoring form this season, has 2 in the opening 4 matches for Lions, when normally just a single goal a season will do. Patient stuff. Both these teams coming off victories in the Australia Cup round 4. Big ones as well, as Cato has an opportunity. Bolton on the outside. Bolton early cross. Oh, and diving at the back post. It's a really nice effort. We'll have a look at the replay now. It was Hills, I think, who stooped down low. Was just unable to direct that ball goalwards. Beautiful evening. Sorry, early afternoon, late afternoon, in fact, on this Easter Saturday. Fechner will run onto this one. Coolly played that time by Dragicevic. Brisbane City have been showing plenty of patience when they've had time on the ball so far this season. They do exactly the same here as Fechner makes the challenge. Reeves is going to run onto this. Ramazani goes back to Munford, who won't have much time. Manages to get the ball away. It's a nice touch from Fraser Hills. Sean Carlos just mopping up. Doherty dangerous when he's going forward. Carlos. Oh, it's a really good ball, and it took a good header from Kai Bolton doing his defensive work there to take the ball off the head of Jackson Hart-Phillips. The ball stayed in. Ramazani make sure there's no doubt that that ball was out of play. Sibatuara in a lot of space over on that far side. Space closed down pretty quickly though. Bowls to Simkin. Oh, it's a nice ball from Simkin. Really nice ball. Brandon Reeves uses Bolton, who had to check his run. Halliday back to Bolton. Long-term City players involved in that move. Bowles asking a fair amount of his former Brisbane Roar teammate Matt Smith. Simpkin, good spell of possession this from Brisbane City, who are off the mark after that 2-0 victory away at Moreton Bay United last week. After 3 impressive performances but without getting the result. Sees them in 9th spot on the ladder. Though the 7-1 victory over Yeronga would have given City plenty of confidence that they have the ability to score goals as Hills spreads the ball to this near side. Cato. Neat football from City. Excellent possession. Tommy Jarrett says no. Plenty of patience, and you can feel the tension as City continue to build this possession now. Hoffman. Lions just sensed the slight misplaced pass and rushed up. And that'll please Darren Syme. The way that his team were able to capitalise on that, and they've forced the turnover there. It's just a touch sloppy from Brisbane City. Roman Hoffman couldn't quite find Matt Smith. Just changed the momentum, but Lions were very quick to notice that there might have been a slight miss-pass, and they really did leap upon that opportunity. Just to put the pressure on. Smith will bring that ball under his control though, and City will look to start again. Glorious afternoon in the southeast corner of Queensland on this bank holiday weekend. Good occasion at Brisbane City as well. Back home for the first time in the National Premier Leagues since 2020 as Sibatuara gets to the edge of the penalty area. He's thwarted. Good tackle it was by Maltby. And that is a free kick. Redenton, who was fouled, and Matt Smith doing the fouling. It'll only just be a point of order made by Daniel Olsen to Matt Smith. It's a decent foul to make, you'd say, if you were a Brisbane City supporter. Because Lions, well, they can counter-attack very, very quickly. Here is Redenton. Well, that was a little bit late from Hoffman. Redenton bounces straight up like one of those inflatable dolls. Misplaces that pass and then takes a little swipe at Koji Kato. That will be a free kick to Brisbane City. A little bit scrappy at the moment. Big season this for Brisbane City, the 70th anniversary season. They formed themselves 7 years before Lions did. City in 1952, Lions in 59. They have made an indelible footprint on the history of football in this state. Indeed, by winning the first 2 NSL Cups, they left their mark on the national stage as well. And City are better than most at getting that history as Sivatuara puts on a burst of speed, puts a ball in, it's a really good one. Just couldn't quite get the ball turned home, and we'll have another look at that. Sivatuara in full flight is a sight to behold, and he really did put the afterburners on there. It was a really nice run. Koji Kato just couldn't quite steer the ball home. Back live now. Hayden Mumford playing the ball out neatly from the back. Lions and City, both teams that like to play the ball on the ground. Simpkin just cuts out that long ball. Packed house at Corporate Travel Management Stadium in Newmarket, Old Spencer Park. Ramazani picks the pocket there of Koji Kato. CV wind that there is blowing from left to right. No, it is very delicate, the breeze, not really favouring either side. The sun coming down low away to our right as we see things might have an impact on goalkeepers. You can see the shadow of the floodlights, which are not in operation at the moment due to the flooding. Take a while to get them back up as well, so I'm told. Such is the level of damage. Wallace and Doherty linking up there, now Ramazani. Hart Phillips tried to turn the corner, but there was a good piece of work by Scott Halliday. That was great work from Sean Carlos, who's continued his run, but ball finds its way through to Dragicevic. And City will build once again from the back. Nice idea, and Bolton is going to race onto this one. Excellent ball. He has 2 men arriving in the middle for support, Bolton. He'll twist one way, go the other, has a shot himself, and that's off the crossbar. Brilliant work from Kai Bolton. It was an excellent ball forward, perfectly weighted. Jackson Hart-Phillips, oh, he was befuzzled and turned into knots, and that was an excellent shot from Kai Bolton. That's the clearest chance that we've had on goal today. Kai Bolton, who has 1 goal for the season, the 22-year-old in his 6th year at Brisbane City. He'd have a spell with the Brisbane Raw Youth after leaving City initially. Missed the end of last season, in which he scored 10 goals in 15 games with a broken shoulder. Almost opened the scoring in the Classico, and Scott Halliday, who has certainly become more assertive over the course of his time at Brisbane City in that midfield role, as he's grown into himself. He's willing to put those sorts of tackles in, giving away free kicks. That, of course, was a hard-nosed centre-back in the Football League, played over 100 English Football League appearances, played over 100 games, sorry, for the likes of Newcastle and Bristol City. Berry as well. Both teams just feeling things out at the moment. Commitment from City to maintain possession is really impressive. It's very cute there from Bowles to Simpkin. Cato coming back to lend his support. Fechner and Pengelly are going to have to get through a lot of work, and Bowles probably turned round and saw the looming figure of Andy Pengelly. Did really well just to turn it back to Dragicevic. It's a nice ball through. Flag's gone up for offside, and you heard the disappointment from the supporters a fair while before we heard the whistle go. That ball has gone out. No groans on that occasion as the flag goes up. Carlos was alert to the angles from that throw-in. Made the block, and Lions try and play the ball upfield. Fechner, again, just looking around, wondering whether or not that contact was a little bit too egregious. Referee says no. Again, good ball retention from Brisbane City. Lions very well organised defensively as this long ball goes forward. Cato it is who just pops in. Doherty did just enough there. There was a free kick given. Didn't hear a whistle. Pressure coming. Duckworth does very well. Doherty switches play to this near side and Ramazani. Duckworth in position. And now Jared. Bouncing back to Jared. Hasn't burst into life yet this match, I think it's fair to say. Fechner has to go searching for the ball. It's it back to Carlos. He'll go back to Ramazani, and now Duckworth. Jared. Duckworth. Bit of a blind alley there, so has to go back to Jared. Redenton. Might work out for Lions here. Fechner. That's a good tackle. Really good tackle from Matt Smith. You'd expect nothing less. It's Hills trying to link up there with Brandon Reeves. Hills, well, he ran into a blind alley there. A blind alley that closed in around him very, very quickly. Nightmare-like. Little incident off the ball there was there. Referee says no. Play's going to continue. Carlos. Hart Phillips. Redenton. Hart Phillips a little bit too heavy, and now Andy Pengelly is really asking the question of Daniel Olsen. City, meanwhile, just get on with play. Bolton took an awkward bounce. That was unfortunate. 2 balls on the field, so referee will say, you can take that again, please, Mr. Hart Phillips. Made the switch from the Raw Youth last year. Same as his opposite number in the City lineup, Jackson Simpkin. Both part of that Brisbane Raw Youth team that finished second on the ladder. Both played 24 games. And Hart Phillips did make his senior Raw debut in the competition formerly known as the FFA Cup in the 3-0 victory against Lions out at Ipswich. What can City do with the ball here midway through this first half? And you'd say that City are doing pretty well not to have conceded just yet. There have been too many opportunities, indeed any real opportunities for Lions so far, and that's a testament to the way City have played as well. The reason I say that is Lions have scored 5 goals more than anyone else in the competition, 17 so far through 4 matches. And then if you add the 6 that they scored against Brisbane Strikers in the Australia Cup midweek, then that's 23 goals in 5 competitive games at a goal every 19.5 minutes. Well, we're 23.5 minutes into this contest, midway through the first half in fact. And it is still goalless between Brisbane City and Lions. And City have been good enough to deny Lions any real sniff at goal. The best opportunity coming when Kai Bolton hit the crossbar in the 17th minute. And City have been playing the ball around nicely. Long ball forward now. It's a real good ball, and having to come and flat was Mumford. An opportunity perhaps. Oh, it's cleared off the line. It's a really good header off the line, in fact, by Ethan Doherty. And Mumford came and flapped. Bolton saw the opportunity, and Ramazani it was. It was a deft little touch. I think Bolton thought it was in. He was certainly going to celebrate. But Ethan Doherty has cleared the ball off the line. I think Hassan Ramazani was there as well. Corner is swept in. Oh, it's a Brisbane City head, was it? Or was it a Lions head? Matt Smith thinks that it was a Lions head. Daniel Olsen says, well, I think it was yours. So City with the 2 best chances of this game. Lions win the ball in City territory though, through Duckworth. Carlos and Redenton playing the ball around amongst themselves. Lions look to spring a trap. Here's Fechner. Dropping off was Hart Phillips. Puts the cross in, bit too deep. Battling is Zach Maltby over on that far side, but Sivatuara just has a little bit too much composure. Cato goes all the way back to Matt Smith, who's right on the goal line. And plays the ball off the flagpole, in fact, saving it from going into the creek. Just to relieve a little bit of pressure, because Lions have started to suddenly turn the pressure up. Attacking throw-in. Third of the distance from the goal. Oh, Redenton. Oh, Redenton's done really well there, and coming across was Dan Bowles to give away a corner, and City perhaps fortunate that it wasn't more, because when he got a bit of a run on Matt Redenton, well, everything opened up for him. It's Duckworth who's going to take the corner over on the far side of the field. The old boys on the deck just giving a bit of advice to the Lions players. It's a really good corner, headed away. Sean Carlos on the edge of the penalty area with the shot, but got blocked by one of 3 Brisbane City players. And now City are on the attack, taking the ball up over the halfway. Kai Bolton, but Duckworth getting back and just playing the ball out for a throw-in. Just snuffing out the danger, because there were City players racing forward in support there. Sean Carlos's shot definitely didn't get all of it. And Pengelly's just gone to ground again. Scott Halliday it was who tangled with him. Here's Simpkin, shaping to cross, does cross. Carlos heads it away, Bolton heads it back in. Reeves is there, headed away strongly by Duckworth. Sivatuara now on the edge of the penalty area. City just trying to probe their way through. The deflection takes it through comfortably to Aidan Mumford. He'll roll the ball out to Redenton. Very nicely done between the 2 Kiwis. And then a long ball, a long way out of goal is Dragesevic. And this could be a problem. Ball never quite fell for Alex Fechner. And City recover. We'll just take you quickly back to that. A long way out from his goal was Dragicevic. And Fechner was always off balance. We'll come back live because City, trying to play their ball out from their own lines, do really well. Halliday just misses getting caught by Sean Carlos and then fires a ball deep. A little bit too deep on that occasion, but the idea is always to try and find the player on this near sideline. It's almost always Kai Bolton, and almost always pays off, and City have had good joy down the right-hand side attacking wise for them. Ball over the top now for Lions, finds Hart Phillips. Ramazani in plenty of space, can't thread the needle through to Fechner, might get another opportunity, no he won't. That's great defending from Jackson Simpkin on the edge of his own penalty area. And the call from the City bench is to get forward please. Bolton with a little shimmy just to create a little bit of space for himself. Space ran out pretty quickly and Joe Duckworth made the effective tackle. Still goalless. Good high-quality football, though, this. As we approach the half-hour mark at Corporate Travel Management Stadium. Bolton, clever, just gets the ball away from Hart Phillips. Just can't quite squeeze past Sean Carlos, though. And Redenton playing the ball forward. His forward pass, though, to Alex Fechner, snuffed out well by Smith. And City on the attack now with Sibatuara over on that far side of the field. Sibatuara goes past one, can't get the cross past Tommy Jarrett, and it'll be a corner kick for Brisbane City. Redenton and Alex Fechner just giving each other a bit of a low five and just encouraging each other, because Redenton's pass was towards Fechner and it was the right idea. Fechner just couldn't get onto it. Matt Smith too quick, the 39-year-old. City go for a training ground move from the corner kick. It hasn't worked out because coming out to close the ball down very nicely was Maltby. Koji Kato has run out of room. This isn't the first game to be played in this Easter weekend. Moreton Bay United took to the field against the Raw Youth on Thursday. They lost that game by 2-1. Tom Waddingham and Josh DeMarco scoring in each half, and Nick Bernardi adding an 88th minute consolation just to keep things interesting as Fechner gets the better of the defender over on that far side. Can't find Andy Pengelly in the middle though. He's left Matt Smith in a heap over on the far side of the field, and the referee has stopped things, so we'll just have a little look. Just looked like a little bit of a tangle, but it's telling that Alex Fechner did look back, so maybe he did feel that there was a little bit of a knock, albeit accidental. Referee blew up pretty quickly. Maybe it was just the way that Matt Smith fell, or maybe he copped a knock, I'm not sure. It's okay to continue. His radar seems to still be in good order, finding Dan Bowles with a couple of short passes on the edge of their own penalty area, City. Now Halliday. Neat little touch from Hoffman to Cato. Cato over the top towards Bolton. Mumford was alert to the fact and just hammered the ball out. Don't often see Corporate Travel Management Stadium in the sunshine. Matches normally taking place at night here, but it's a beautiful outlook from the Gino Merlot stand. You can see us. Simpkin does very well there and puts the ball in, well cut out by Doherty. Reeves it was who was challenging. Fraser Hills. Here's Hills again on the byline. Cato. Couldn't find Hills on the return pass. Halliday, though, he might have a little go. Oh, shape to shoot. Couldn't get the ball past Redenton, so thought better of it and continued his run and wins a corner. That's good football from Brisbane City. Good football from Scott Halliday. Ball fortuitously falling to him. He wanted to shoot here, but Redenton with a good diving stop, and so he thought, right, I'll keep going, but there were 3 Lions players there. City do have a corner, though. The option short for Halliday was there. Bolton says, no, not for now. We'll whip this one into the mixer, and it's a good ball, headed away. It'll be another corner from the other side. Pengeli it was who got the final touch, I think. And you have to admire his gall for sticking his hand up, saying, I think it might be our ball, sir. He was the only player, really, who it could have come off. Training ground move, and Fraser Hills pretending to do up the bootlace. He's the man who receives it short. Oh, the ball's swept in, punched away by Munford, not entirely convincingly. Bowles can't quite find the space that he needs. Ball swept back in, headed away. This time, I think by Carlos it was. Fechner has taken Matt Smith down again. Another accidental contact, I think. Play's allowed to continue anyway. The referee didn't seem too interested regardless. And here is Smith showing no ill effects. Bowles goes back to Dragicevic. It's over Bolton's head. And so I'm just giving some instructions to Hart Phillips. Tense football so far. 10 minutes to go before the half-time break. Goalless between Brisbane City and Lions in the National Premier League Queensland. You're watching on FQTV. I'm Simon Smell. A pleasure to be with you this afternoon on Easter Saturday. Beautiful afternoon for football and a beautiful afternoon for the biggest rivalry in Queensland. Match seeped in history. The new chapter being inked right in front of your eyes. Here's Ramazani. Bit of space ahead of him. Uses Hart Phillips. He goes back to Duckworth. Hart Phillips, it was fired into him. Still tried to turn the ball into Redenton's run. That ball has gone out. Chris Hayder on this near sideline. I believe it's the first year for him in the National Premier Leagues as an assistant referee. Truth, referees haven't had a particularly hard afternoon as Smith slightly misjudges that ball. Alex Fechner plays the ball out wide to Maltby. Maltby trying to thread the needle to Pengeli, and Pengeli puts his hands on his head. Ball still there for Lions though. Deep to Hart Phillips. Fechner on the edge of the penalty area. So many Lions players. Carlos can't thread the needle through to Hart Phillips. And now an opportunity perhaps for City up the other end. Brandon Reeves waiting for support, needing support. Cato, of course, is the man who provides it. He's allowed to wait. Shapes to shoot onto his right. Bowles comes in. Apologies, it's Halliday. He couldn't get the shot away either. Well, certainly not on target. Was blocked at source. Halliday and Hills. Beautiful pass from Bowles to Smith. 3 other games taking place later on this afternoon and evening. Logan taking on Eastern Suburbs at Cornubia Park. 5 o'clock is the kick-off there. Peninsula Power taking on Gold Coast Knights. That should be a cracker. 6:30 at AJ Kelly for that game. And Capella Bar against Sunshine Coast Wanderers. 6:30 kick-off at Max Haynes Field. So there is plenty of football to watch. Make sure you head down to your local grounds and support the teams that have perhaps had a bit of a tough time with the recent flooding. And of course, you can watch all the action on FQTV. Carlos, he's cute, the fair from Redenton. Renazani. Renazani doesn't have much room to work with and in fact ran out of room. City will want to take this throw in quickly. Kai Bolton though with the ball in his hands. Half expect him to be raking a run down the line. That's a poor pass and straight to Pengelly. Now Fechner with a great chance on goal and Alex Fechner gets the opening goal of the Classico for Lions. It was a poor pass from Jackson Simpkin straight to Andy Pengelly, and if there's one player you don't want to pass the ball to, it's Pengelly. He found Fechner and it's a confident finish from the man who can't stop scoring at the moment, Alex Fechner, against his former club. And Lions have the lead in the 40th minute after City had plenty of opportunities earlier on in the game. That's Alex Fechner's 6th goal in 2.5 matches. A remarkable return for Alex Fechner, who missed the first 2 games of the season with a concussion. It's worth mentioning as well that Fechner scored in the Australia Cup win as well, so all up 3.5 games, 7 goals. Alex Fechner is in fine touch. And it's Alex Fechner who's given Brisbane City the lead, but a really poor pass from Simpkin and quick thinking from Andy Pengelly. Those two have created a really decent partnership already for Lions, Pengelly and Fechner. And you'd expect it to continue to blossom. And City, for all the great chances that they've had and plenty of possession as well, just unable to get on the score sheet. They might want to change things here as Hills does well at the second attempt to get the ball out to Bolton. Bolton cuts inside. Hills in a bit of space. Hills trying to turn it. And he did wrap his foot around that, just not quite enough. Excellent work and awareness to keep persisting after his first attempt to play the through ball was blocked. And the angle wasn't favourable to Hills, but he did so well to wrap his boot around that ball and almost curl it into the top corner. It would have been a sensational goal, just didn't quite get enough on it. But Aidan Mumford would have been nothing more than a passenger. Flicked on by Redenton. The ball's fallen back for Redenton. Pengelly forced wide with his pass though. Support is coming from Hart Phillips. Went all the way back instead to Duckworth, and Duckworth had to really race and has ended up coughing up possession. He's won it back though. Fraser Hills has won it straight back for City. Great tenacity from Fraser Hills, the 27-year-old from Dagenham in England. Spent his youth football career both at Tottenham Hotspur and Southend United. Strikers between 2015 and 16 won the Premiership, 2 there. Went down to Melbourne as well as Kai Bolton gets onto the edge of the penalty area. Ball's deflected through, a little bit too far ahead of Brandon Reeves though. Kai Bolton and Ethan Doherty presumably just checking on each other's Easter egg stash. Sure it was nothing more than that. Bit of discussion between the 2 stars of the National Premier League's Queenslanders. Fraser Hills almost a bit too clever for his own good, and certainly a little bit too cute for Koji Kato to capitalise on. Just wrong-footed as he tried to thread the needle with an impossible angle, really. Excellent idea from Fraser Hills. Bolton in the right place at the right time, wins that ball. Halliday trying to thread the needle through to Kato. He loses out, though, to Sean Carlos, who's been very, very good again so far this afternoon for Lions in that midfield role. The club captain taking a lot on his shoulders as club captain is Sean Carlos. He's a man who bleeds orange. Did have the spell at Brisbane Strikers, of course, as Maltby tries to go around the corner and wins a corner off Sam Sibatuara. Some advice being given to Zach Maltby by the old boys. Again, I'm sure it's nothing more than wishing him the very best for this Easter period. Had a great season last year, Brisbane City. The disappointment of going down to the FQPL, countered by the fact they went through the entire season unbeaten. Corner swept in very deep. Tommy Jarrod is there, trying to turn the corner. Legs get tangled. Jarrod comes away with it, and he'll win a free kick. Fraser Hills disagrees with the decision. In fact, City did get beaten once last year over the course of their competitive campaign, and that was here against Lions in the FFA Cup. 2-1 victory we've already spoken about on this broadcast. Lions lead by a goal to nil. We're in the shadows of half-time. Ball swept in, well gathered by Dragicevic, who is wearing the cap to counter for that low sun, and his final act is to give the ball back to our referee, Daniel Olsen, who's had a pretty quiet day. It's been a match that hasn't really exploded into life. City had plenty of opportunities. Kai Bolton hit the crossbar in the 17th minute and then had a shot cleared off the line by Ethan Doherty in the 25th. But it was Lions who have scored the only goal of the half. Alex Fechner, a man who scored his 6th goal of the National Premier League's Queensland season in what is just his 3rd game, slotted home after being played in by Andrew Pengele after a loose pass out from the back by the home side. Thoroughly entertaining game of football so far at Corporate Travel Management Stadium. We'll be back for the second half after these messages.
They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your football family. A family has legends you look up to. And the up-and-comers. A family pitches in and works together as a team. We have the ones who keep us in check, and we motivate each other to be the best. Be the best! But it's my brothers and my sisters who always have my back. That's why even my real family love my football family. So what are you waiting for? Join our team. Come on!
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Vito Sports pride themselves on delivering top-quality FIFA regulation-compliant goals. Each goal is made from durable, high-density, thick aluminium and then finished in a white powder coat. To provide quick delivery, Vito Sports stock all goals in this range within their Brisbane distribution warehouse, allowing customers to quote, order and deliver in a matter of days. If you'd like to inquire about the Vito Sports goal range, email us at admin@vitosports.com.
Welcome back to Corporate Travel Management Stadium, where Lions lead Brisbane City by a 1-0. It wasn't exactly the most high-octane half of football in that first half. A couple of nervous moments for Lions, though. City enjoying a fair amount of possession. They hit the crossbar through Kai Bolton in the 17th minute, who also had a shot cleared off the line by Ethan Doherty in the 25th. It's Alex Fechner who scored the only goal of the game so far in the 40th minute, capitalising on a poor pass out to Andy Pengelly, who very quickly played in Fechner. It was a nice finish across the face of Duro Dragicevic. An intriguing game rather than a fizzer, you'd say. Definitely leaning towards being a slow burner. No substitutions as far as I can see at half-time. Brisbane City in the blue shirts will be attacking the clubhouse away to our left. Blue shirts, white shorts, blue and white socks. And they go all the way back to Dan Bowles in the heart of the defence. Now Smith. And backwards to go forwards, Brisbane City at the start of this second half. Scott Halliday. Nice ball over the top for Reeves to challenge for. It was Kai Bolton who battles. Was there a handball there? Referee says no. Of course, Football Queensland put up a video yesterday just to see how your knowledge of the handball rule is. Gave you a couple of options from a particular scenario. So there's no excuses about not guessing what a handball is or not knowing what actually constitutes a handball, as Reeves turned into trouble and perhaps got a little bit fortunate there. Zach Maltby and Tommy Jarrett made the decision to sandwich him. City will try and probe into the attacking half of Lions. Kai Bolton. Bolton is going to be able to get to this. Cross isn't the best, helped away by Jarrod and Duckworth. And Denton to Duckworth, nice little back heel there. Pengelly, Fechner trying to go around the corner, is unable to do so, and then he's unceremoniously dumped to the ground by Dan Bowles. Missed a game against Gold Coast Knights. Actually started on the bench last week. So starting back in the starting 11, the 30-year-old. Matt Jones making way for him in the starting 11. Free kick to Lions. They dummied that. It was obviously a pre-planned move. Didn't quite work out for the visitors. Dummy run. Back live now as Carlos just tries to latch onto a loose ball. Matt Smith making a good challenge. Speaking of good challenges, there's Andy Pengelly just alongside Matt Smith. They've switched now. Denton going to the free-time Socceroo. Bowles does well just to make that challenge. Cato does well to retrieve that ball and release down on this near side. And straight into a spot of bother there, did Brandon Reeves. Sibutawara just slipped and then got bumped off the ball. Free kick to Brisbane City. Sibutawara wants to take it quickly. He's asked to leave it to his coach, who's looking crossfield. Flag stays down. So it was well timed by Reeves in the end, who puts a cross in. Ramazani needed to get that right and did. Difficult skill to have the swing of the ball flying across the face of goal like that. Ball swept in again. Still an opportunity here for Brisbane City. Kato with the shot. It's a brilliant block from Hassan Ramazani. We'll have an opportunity to have a look at it again. Ramazani putting his body on the line. It was a brilliant block. Still live now. City unable to capitalise, but they'll come again. Oh, that's given away sloppily. An opportunity here perhaps for Alex Fechner. And then a free kick surely against Fraser Hills, who gave the ball away and has now earned himself a booking as well. Fraser Hills desperately trying to make up for giving the ball away. Alex Fechner, who's already scored once in this game, but danger signs now for Brisbane City, because we know that Matt Redenton can score from here. One goal this campaign coming against Gold Coast Knights, against Peninsula Power, sorry, the goal that won the game. Duckworth standing over this one as well. Duckworth, it's in the back of the net! Joel Duckworth gives Lions the best possible start to the second half. And Duckworth knew straight away that that ball was going in. Juro Dragicevic not happy with the wall, and Matt Smith was bearing the brunt of the young goalkeeper's displeasure. One imagine pointing out a couple of things as well, but the ball beat the wall, the ball beat the dive of Dragicevic, and Joel Duckworth has his first goal of the campaign. City clearly have a lot of work to do now to get themselves back into this game, despite being far from outclassed, it has to be said. Here's Redenton. Excellent work from Fechner to win the ball over there in the corner. Redenton has been closed down, but Lions still managed to come away with the ball. Cross comes in, and the header came flying in from Zach Maltby, but he missed, and Sam Sibutawara mops up on this near side. Hills does really well in the close confines there, and Sibutawara is on his way now. He slips on the surface and then has a little look at the referee, but I do think it was just the footing that gave way, not perhaps by way of any Lions players' interference. He'll have another go here though, Sibutawara. Nice ball inside to Halliday. Halliday and Hills just buzzed around there and did enough that the clearance was just an aimless one up to Dan Bowles. Here's Smith again. Bit of space and time for Matt Smith. Closed down by Pengelly. Ball straight into the dugout. Matt Smith with a bit of urgency. He wants the ball in his hands and at his feet so that City can perhaps get a goal to get themselves back into this contest. Patience there from Smith. He is a patient man. You can see that the way his team plays football. You can see that in the way that he was waiting for the right time to throw that ball in. Didn't just want to get play underway quickly for the sake of getting it away quickly. Wanted it to be the right ball. Bit untidy, but fallen for Lions here on the attack. Still there now, Carlos. Carlos can't quite thread the needle through to Pengeli. And Scott Halliday is going to race forward, trying to play in Kai Bolton, but Hassan Ramazani does well. Maltby. Fechner, Maltby on the charge. Matt Smith just comes in to help out, but can only play the ball back to Joe Duckworth. Doherty. Fechner. Redenton. Pengeli. Ball's played across. It was a nice ball as well. Right across the 6-yard box, and there was nobody there for it. Sibatuara taking the ball away from the deep left back pocket. Cato has his pocket picked by Duckworth, and then Redenton wasn't a million miles away at all. Dragicevic did take that goal kick. You're watching a replay at the moment. Dragicevic, the ball bounced back to him, so he thought, right, well, I'll just get play underway pretty quickly and get the ball moving. City haven't progressed too much further forward than that, though, as Matt Smith takes up possession of this near side. Now Cato back to Smith. Nice ball forward. Hill swings an early cross in. And Aidan Munford, who is wearing the cap now, although the sun has disappeared behind the growing accumulation of clouds. Nevertheless, still bright out there. Having quite difficult seeing conditions with the low cloud. Bolton, that's a really good pass to Bolton. And headed away very cleverly by Tommy Jarrett. Still there for Sibatuara on this near side. City pressing for their first goal of the game. Jarrett again at the near post. Just gets the ball away to Koji Kato. Goes back to Smith. Kato once again. He'll inject a little bit of pace, but shows too much of the ball to Alex Fechner. Kato does really well to win that ball back, actually, but he loses out to a combination of Fechner and Pengeli. Duckworth just clears the ball into space for Hassan Ramazani as Lions just slow the tempo back down again. And it's been a bit of a feature of this game. It's not being played at a particularly high, rip-roaring pace. It's been a more cerebral contest, I think it's fair to say. Carlos cuts inside. Nice ball to Alex Fechner. Cute. Back to Carlos. Here's Pengeli, blocked by Bowles. Neat football from Lions there. Lovely from Carlos. Neat 1-2 first touch passing. Here's an opportunity perhaps. This time Bowles is there just to snuff out the danger. Sibatuara now. Hills can't flick the ball on, and there was a handball against Tommy Jarrett, and Darren Syme disagrees with the decision, I think. And Matt Redenton has earned himself a booking for not allowing City to play that free kick quickly. Halliday. Bolton had to check his run. Still there on the edge of the penalty area for Bolton. Bit too close to Munford. Makes the comfortable save. Lions playing with a bit more pace in this second half. They have a 2-goal lead, courtesy of Alex Fechner 5 minutes before the break and Joe Duckworth 5 minutes after. Well, that's set up pretty nicely, and ball flashed across. He's a million miles away. Nice idea. Just sat up so well. Back live now. Hills. That's a brilliant ball to Cato from Fraser Hills. Cato cuts back inside. Oh, made a bit of a mess of that in the end. The ball was a peach from Fraser Hills. Look at this. Turn, look up. There's the space. Cato switching back onto the right boot and perhaps just off balance. City haven't beaten Lions since 2018. Good chase from Fraser Hills, I think. Lions have the ball up in their attacking third of the field, though, and it's Maltby. Goes to ground. He was certainly asking for a free kick, certainly looking for one. It didn't come his way, and Fraser Hills just can't keep that ball under his control. And that will frustrate him. Throw up the line, flicked on by Pengelly. Carlos tried to latch onto that. It was Bolton doing the defence at the back, and he did really well too. Cato, nice from Koji Cato. It's a clever ball as well, the outside of the boot. Duckworth's gone down and the free kick's been given, and Sam Sivituara can't believe it. And Fraser Hills is pretty upset as well. Just caught the end of that Koji Cato piece on the replay. And we'll just have a look at this. Duckworth, well, he was using his body to shield the ball, and here's the reaction from Sam Sibituara. Referee Daniel Olsen, pretty good position. Looks like City are about to make a substitution, their first for the game. Looks like Yuta Hirayama, last year's top goal scorer for City, who will be coming on. And that substitution is about to be made now. Roman Hoffman, who came off, Matt Smith just got caught there, so slight change in tactics from Brisbane City, throwing an extra body forward as Fechner just drives forward. Hart Phillips couldn't keep that one in, but he's done really well, Hart Phillips now. Here's an opportunity perhaps for Pengelly. It's a good save from Dragicevic. We'll catch that in its entirety because Hart Phillips did really well to get past Bolton, brilliantly in fact. There's Alex Fechner who forced the save in the end. Sean Carlos was screaming for the ball behind him, had a better angle and was all alone. Look at that bundle of bodies right on the penalty spot. The line split like an aerial acrobatics team, and they get up highest as well, but straight to Dragicevic goes the ball. Lions back on the tack again. Live. Pengelly with the shot. Flashes over the bar. Took a deflection as well. Carlos to Redenton to Pengelly. He did just take a touch. So it'll be another Lions corner kick. Andy Thompson. He's coming back to the bench. Arriving late was Sean Carlos. And Lions will have another corner. Good solid spell of possession here. Duckworth is taking them from the right and Redenton is taking them from the left. Ball swung in. Oh, it's been dropped by Dragicevic. Matt Smith and Koji Kato were both there. You check that on the replay again. Dragicevic, just went straight through him, and Maltby couldn't get the ball away. It was Sibatuara, Hills and Matt Smith who were all there waiting to stop that ball from ending up in the back of the net and really putting a nail in City's coffin. Redenton's just been caught in the face, I think. An opportunity perhaps. And then Dragicevic took both friend and foe alike. Is it Duckworth who got caught? Yeah, it is Duckworth, and we'll see the clearance. That's what you need to do as a goalkeeper. Ball and all. Do not worry that it's your 39-year-old player coach who's there as well, who might get some collateral damage. Flag's gone up for offside against Hirayama, who hasn't quite hit the heights this season that he did last. Scored 15 goals in 16 games for City in 2021, and that came off the back of 16 in 18 for Western Pride in 2020. 24-year-old Japanese striker. Fechner's gone down. Carlos helps ball out to Maltby. Maltby does well, and then Scott Halliday came across and thumped the ball out for a Lions throw. New balls, please. There's our referee, Dan Olsen. 2-0 Lions lead Brisbane City in the Classico, National Premier League Queensland round 3. This is match week 5 though. The order all mixed up after the floods that have resulted in the damage to the fencing around the Brisbane City ground, which is why you can see lots of temporary work there, and indeed why this is only Brisbane City's first home game of the season, of the men's season, as Ramazani puts the ball back into a dangerous position. Can Matt Smith keep this from being a corner kick? No, he can't. And Redenton is already in position, although Joe Duckworth says, no, this is my side, please. I'll take this one. It's a game that hasn't really burst into life. Been good football to watch though. Oh, ball's free, and then Pengelly forces a brilliant save from Đuro Dragicevic. There was confusion at the corner. We'll check that out on the replay. Straight to Pengelly. That is a brilliant save from Dragicevic. Back live now. Lions wanting to capitalise on this spell of possession. Fechner puts the ball inside. Bowles gets rid of it. Hills. Bolton had to wait on it. A bit too much backspin from Fraser Hills as he was off balance. So free kick. Matt Redenton will take. He wants Ethan Doherty in the middle. So Doherty leaves Hirayama and goes to make a nuisance of himself in the penalty area. Will be a Lions corner. You're watching the National Premier League Queensland on fqtv.com.au. Every match from every FQ competition live. Corner swept in towards the near post. And that was a designed move. Fechner holds his head in his hands. He knew he was close then. Right idea and brilliant delivery from Duckworth. He'll be able to have another go this time. I hazard a guess that this one will go a bit deeper. It does. And Dragicevic shows a safe pair of hands and then gets rid of the ball out of those hands pretty quickly. Too quickly, because Hirayama was the intended target, but it never got to him. An opportunity now, though, for Lions. It was Doherty who tried to thread the needle through to Pengelly. Bolton switched to this near wing. That's a brilliant cross, and at full stretch, Aidan Munford had to take the leap. He couldn't have flapped at that because there were plenty of City players arriving in support. Not least Yuto Hirayama at the back post, and there still might be an opportunity here for City as Hills plays the ball forward. Good opportunity. Hassan Ramazani is so quick. And he wins a free kick because of his speed, managing to get there just ahead of Fraser Hills, who just caught him on the follow through, I think. Lions on the attack. Fechner just a bit too heavy, the return pass, but it's been won by Duckworth and a free kick has been given. And Fechner, sorry, Scott Halliday just saying that, oh, sorry, it's Redenton who was fouled, and Scott Halliday just saying that you were playing for a free kick just before. His protestations fall on deaf ears. It is Matt Redenton with the free kick. Delicate chipped effort. Oh, and a shot comes in from Fechner. Ethan Doherty was there as well. He was the intended target from the header. He just got too much of it, and it's not a million miles away at all from Fechner. Nat Smith was just motioning to the bench. It might be that they need a new ball. Back underway. Get the sense City need to change something. They've already changed tactically with Roman Hoffman coming out of midfield and Yuta Hirayama coming on up front. Nothing much appears to have changed from a flow point of view, as Hirayama can't get to that ball ahead of Aidan Munford, who sprawls down cleverly. Just lost a little bit of control, City, in this second half. They Did some good work in the first half as Munford has to be quick to get rid of that one. Maltby's going to give chase on Kai Bolton. Doesn't win the throw-in. Tris Hayder on the near sideline getting some advice from Zach Maltby, which I'm sure is gratefully received. Nevertheless, it is a Brisbane City throw-in, which is what I'm sure Buttress also pointed out. Flicked on there by Maltby, who's still down. Duckworth in possession for Lions. Carlos goes back to Ramazani. Now Doherty to Jared, playing very far forward. Redenton towards the edge of the penalty area. Phillips gives the ball away. City will want to counter-attack and counter-attack quickly. They do put a ball in over the top. It's a good ball as well. The ball is out for a throw. It's Yuta Hirayama who is giving chase. This is where City need to show some urgency. 15 minutes remaining, just over. They trail Lions by 2-0. Here's Hills. Oh, nice through ball from Hills for Yuta Hirayama. Hirayama's gone past Aidan Munford, but the angle was too much for him and only finds side netting. It's a lovely pass from Smith, and that is brilliant from Fraser Hills. Brilliant run from Hirayama as well. Munford did well. You have to credit the goalkeeper there for narrowing the angle and making himself as big as possible. Yuta Hirayama's touch was enough to take it away from the keeper, but too much in terms of making an angle that it was possible to shoot from. He'll be disappointed, Yuta Hirayama. Still yet to get off the mark in terms of goals this season. It would have been a very good time to score his first goal of 2022. In the NPL, that is, of course. Another change for Brisbane City. Arthur Antonis is coming on, and he's going to replace a like-for-like swap with Brandon Reeves. Antonis will play slightly deeper and slightly wider than Reeves will, and that'll free up Hirayama to play more centrally, you'd expect. Antonis goes to ground. Challenges from Jared, who's now out of position. He's herring back to get in position, just in front of the back four. Alex Fechner somehow come away with the ball, and he's in free space now, Alex Fechner. He has Pengelly on this near side. Pengelly, one-on-one with Dragicevic. Oh, Andy Pengelly would want to have that one back. Fechner did really well to create the space. Pengelly had all the time in the world, and, well, I think his reaction tells you all you need to know. That would have been game, set, match, you'd think. Hills. Cato can't latch onto that. City try to counter-attack quickly, and it's Ethan Doherty who's down. Just getting caught to the shin. See if we can see how that happened. Trying to make the challenge on Hills. He's okay to continue. Smith came from a long way to make that challenge. Redenton comes out second best in his effort. The line's a little bit rattled there. Give the ball away. Sam Sivituara will take the throw. No, he won't. Jackson Simpkin does, though. Bowles and Smith at the back. Now Hills. It's been very good, Hills. Cato does well. Just too heavy for Bolton. And it was just the challenge that made things a little bit difficult for Koji Cato, 23-year-old. Brisbane City 0, Lions 2. Just over 11 minutes remaining. Fechner does well to win that ball, and Fechner shoots early, and Dragicevic was already backpedaling to get back into position. Fechner trying to catch him out. Neither the height nor power to beat the 22-year-old City custodian. As Doherty shows plenty of height and plenty of grace to get his leg up to win that ball. He wants a free kick now and gets it. Good run from Ethan Doherty. Ball's taken quickly to this near side and Tommy Jarrett. Pengeli on the loose ball, but Sivituara wins it. Sivituara invited to run onto that ball from Halliday. Early pass to Antonis, and sliding out was Aidan Munford. And that ball's in the creek. Jarrett just doing up his bootlaces. City aren't going to wait though. Antonis just gets bundled off the ball there. Bowles keeps the play alive. Good ball over the top. The angle's just not quite right for Hirayama. Munford making the easy stop. Already mentioned a couple of big games later on. Logan versus Easts kicks off in about 20 minutes time at Cornubia Park. Peninsula Power against Gold Coast United. Gold Coast Knights, sorry, that's the big one at AJ Kelly. 6:30 is that kickoff. Capella Bar take on Wanderers at the same time at Max Haynes Fields. And tomorrow it's Olympic against Gold Coast United at Goodwin Park. Kickoff there in Yeronga is at 6. Here's Koji Cato for Brisbane City, just in front of the dugout. In the attacking half of the field, Matt Smith. In his own centre circle, switches play over to the far side of the field, and Simpkin. Scott Halliday. Fraser Hills, back to Halliday. Halliday looking to orchestrate something, finds Sivituara, who finds Hills. Who gets the ball past Ramazani, that hasn't happened so many times. Cross comes in. Antonis went to head the ball, but the ball never got to him. And Lions will look to clear. Alex Fechner linking up really well with Andy Pengeli, and then couldn't quite do anything with it. Juraj Dragicevic making the stop on the edge of his penalty area, and City will come again. Time running out for the hosts. Cato, that's a lovely ball forward to Hills. Hills is going to have another go. Ramazani has been a rock for Lions at the back, and he concedes a corner, but it was nothing more than that. Sivituara puts a deep cross in, too deep. It's out for a goal kick, and Sivituara hangs his head in frustration. And City can't submit to that frustration at the moment. There's still 7 minutes remaining. They've worked their way back into this contest in the last 10 minutes or so. But they are vulnerable on the counter-attack as another substitution takes place. Looks like Zach Motley is coming off. which means that Andy Thompson will come on in his place. Ball slipped. He has a look at the surface, not the first player to do that. Koji Kato does well to keep that ball in. A little deft outside of the boot cross. Arthur Antonis was arriving at that near post, but the ball far too close to Aidan Munford. Smith wins the first header, wanted to go after the second. Instead, Fraser Hills it is who wins the ball, but he's caught late. And will the referee take further action here? No, he won't. Smith takes the free kick quickly when the ball eventually comes back. Here is Hills, showing no ill effects. Can't thread the needle through to Bolton though. And Redenton. Outside of the boot to Pengelly. Pengelly plays the ball out of the field of play. Here's Halliday now for City. They're looking to get on with things. That's a good ball from Halliday. Just too far ahead of Hirayama. Halliday again. Kai Bolton. Up against the substitute Andy Thompson. Puts a cross in. Antonis. Ball's fallen for Koji Kato. Now Hills. Hirayama couldn't latch onto it, and Sean Carlos helps the ball away, and then the ball is slapped away by Hart Phillips. And Lions still have possession through Sean Carlos. Redenton. The run is being made by the fresh legs of Andy Thompson. He gets to this near sideline. Redenton gets the return pass. Lions suddenly set up camp on the attacking third of Brisbane City. Ramazani with a ball. He's a little bit too far ahead of Alex Fechner, who still managed to slide and win the corner. But they're in no rush to take, Lions. Have a look at this. Lovely ball. It was just the touch that took the ball away from Fechner. And eventually, Matt Redenton heads over to that far sideline, where the impact of the floods can still be seen. Headed away at the near post, only as far as Duckworth. Redenton put a cross in. It's a good one. Headed away once again by Bowles. That one's gone over Bowles' head, but it's gone over everyone's head, and Dragicevic gathers. He wants to get things moving quickly, Dragicevic. Bowles to Smith. Long ball from Smith. It's a good one, and Tommy Jarrett had to be alert to the presence of Yuta Hirayama. His clearance is only as far as Bolton, who's back over on that right side now. Sibatuara has switched to the left. Hills. City are trying everything. It's just not quite happening for them at the moment, the FQPL champions and premiers from last year. Taking on last year's NPL champions. Bolton with a cross, headed away at the near post by Tommy Jarrett. Denson can't find Pengelly. Ball running underneath his foot. Good pressure from Brisbane City this. Hills back to Halliday. Hills. There's an option wide. Simpkin. Cross comes in, and diving effort from Aidan Munford. It was a cross-come shot, I think. Ended up being a decent effort. By Arthur Antonis, and arriving was Yuta Hirayama as well, who raced after the ball, but just couldn't quite race after the ball hard enough to get his head onto that, which would have made for a very interesting final 2 minutes of this game. As it is, City needs something of a miracle. Hills tried to help that one around the corner. The Lions defence saying to Aidan Munford, why didn't you pick that one up? Take a bit more time off the clock. Because Lions are under pressure. They look relatively comfortable in defence, it has to be said, but City are probing, and a goal here will make things interesting. Halliday doesn't quite get that one right, under serious pressure from Alex Fechner, who gets the ball played to him now by Pengelly. Racing forward is Redenton. Alex Fechner, it's not a bad effort, but he's slipped on this surface as well. He has a look at that surface. Just abandoned his training foot. Yeah, you can see it really cut up as he planted that right boot before swinging the left. Sibituaru with the header. Hirayama was there, and it'll be a corner kick. And has Ethan Doherty done himself a mischief in defending that? Nice header from Antonis, sorry it was. One last chance for City. They need to score here, you'd think. Corner swept in. It's a good one towards the back post. Arthur Antonis helps it back inside. Munford dives on it and had to have another bite of the cherry, as Fraser Hills was there and Munford is still down. See how that all played out again. Antonis, it was with the initial shot, and then Fraser Hills came flying in. And Munford just wore that on the side, I think. We're in the hands of our referee. Matt Smith and Alex Fechner get tangled. Matt Smith saying he should have had a free kick. Ramazani comes forward once again. A rare mistake from Sean Carlos. Hirayama does well, lets the ball do the work. But now he has to do the work and puts a deep cross in. It's too deep. It's over the head of Sam Sibituaru, who doesn't look like he's got much running left in his legs after another sterling effort. Smith switches play. Pressure was coming from Jackson Hart-Phillips. He's out of position now though. Sean Carlos is having to fill in over on that far side as Kai Bolton surges forward into the penalty area. Cross comes in, deflected behind for a corner. Once again, it is that immovable object, Hassan Ramazani. Once again, has been absolutely superb at the back, the 20-year-old ex-Raw man. Bolton with the corner, headed away, still there perhaps for Hills. Hills, lovely switch pass to Antonis, and coming across to challenge was Duckworth, and he gives away a corner. They'll have another go, Brisbane City. Pressure really building in these closing stages. Lions have coped with that pressure well. Corner swept in, Ramazani again heads the ball away, headed back in by Bolton. This time Jared heads it away, not far though. Then Bowles can't quite find Hills, and Thompson tries to send that ball over the grandstand, is unable to do so, so it'll be a quick throw taken by Bowles into the mixer. Jared heads the ball away, Hills jumps, doesn't make contact, and Alex Fechner will have a free run here on the goal of Brisbane City. Koji Kato came across, and then so too did Matt Smith. That's 3 minutes added time. Still we play on. Antonis tries to turn the corner with Tommy Jarrod playing very close attention. And there will be no more time. Brisbane City have fallen to home defeat upon their return to Corporate Travel Management Stadium. Lions with their 4th consecutive win in the National Premier League's Queensland, condemning Brisbane City to their 4th defeat of the campaign. It was a goals either side of half-time to first Alex Fechner and then Joe Duckworth. Joe Duckworth proving that he can score from free kicks just like Matt Redenton can. Although Brisbane City did have their chances. Kai Bolton hit the crossbar in the first half, the 17th minute in fact, and then had a shot cleared off the line after 25 minutes by a combination of Ethan Doherty and Hassan Ramazani. But after that, City never really forced Aidan Munford into too many saves. Dragesevic had to make a couple though, as Alex Fechner and Andy Pengelly both had chances that would have sealed the game. It was a far from a rambunctious derby. It wasn't a huge amount of controversy or incident, but some very attractive football being played by both sides in this National Premier League's Queensland Round 3 clash. Both teams are at home again next weekend as well. Lions take on the Raw Youth at 8:30 p.m. on Friday night. That game at Lions Stadium in Richlands. And then on Sunday at 3 o'clock, City hosts Sunshine Coast Wanderers in what will be round 7 of this year's National Premier League's Queensland. Plenty more action to come over the course of the day. Logan Lightning against Eastern Suburbs. That's going to kick off in just 5 minutes at Cornubia Park. 5 o'clock for kick-off there. Peninsula Power against Gold Coast Knights, though. That's the one that a lot of people have circled this weekend. 6:30 kick-off for that one at AJ Kelly. And Capalaba take on Sunshine Coast Wanderers at Max Haynes Field at 6:30 as well. Tomorrow the action continues. Olympic taking on Gold Coast United to round off round 3 and the Easter weekend. It's been a good Easter weekend for Lions. They have beaten Brisbane City, extending their record in the NPL era over their long-time Classico rivals to 6 wins and just 1 defeat with 1 draw. But Brisbane City once again had their opportunities and have plenty to keep Matt Smith interested in terms of their progress going forward. I've been Simon Smale. It has been a pleasure to bring you all the action this match. We'll be back. And another match coming up very, very soon for you on FQTV. Enjoy the rest of your Easter long weekend and enjoy the rest of your footballing Saturday. From Simon Smale, good evening.